Hello everybody, I hope you're having such a magnificent day. Today's video is how to become a pro thrifter like me. I have been thrifting for around 2.5 years now, and in my personal opinion, I have gotten really good. My entire wardrobe is thrifted, my room is entirely thrifted. I live, eat, breathe op shops. I don't play. And I feel like I've really developed and harnessed a method and a load of tips and tricks that have helped me get all of my pieces. So what makes me qualified to talk about this topic? Why am I proclaiming to be a thrift master and why you should listen to me? First of all, my closet. Every single thing in here is thrifted from Facebook Marketplace or stolen from my sister or given to me as a present. There is pretty much nothing new in here. It is all secondhand and I have some stunning pieces. Here are some credentials. This stunning custard Barcelona top. This beautiful whimsy goth corseted lace up top. Stunning little fashion shopping shirt with a bunch of details on it. This absolutely beautiful fairy top. And a Harley Davidson top. So I'm Australian, so this video will be from an Australian's thrifting or op shopping, as we say, perspective. But I still think that pretty much all of these tips are still universal and are really important for wherever you go thrifting. Okay, I'm going to do this video in two different sections. One for preparing for the thrift, so everything that you should be doing before it, and things that will just set you up for success. And while you're in the thrift, so what you should actually be doing when you're thrifting to get all the best things. One of the most important rituals for me before going to the thrift is to manifest. This is so essential. What I like to do to manifest is I've got two boards. I've got a outfits board where I save everything that I just think is cute, pops up on my Pinterest feed, outfits that I like, different, jewelry, bags, whatever. And I save all of the clothes that I liked, that everything that I find cute, even if I may not wear it. Then before I go to the op shop, I just go through that outfits board and pick out all of my favorite things that I've been really drawn to, things that I noticed that I've been saving a lot. This really makes it clear what you're actually looking for, what you actually want to find, what kind of styles you like, and similarities between the pieces that you're really liking and wanting to get. Also, if you want to go to the next level of manifesting, which honestly, I do this, but I high-key think it turns me into a little bit into the crazy zone, is I take a screenshot of what I'm manifesting from my manifesting board, and I go on my Finsta, my private Instagram, and I write out please thrift gods bless me today, da 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 da, which I think is a little bit nutty, but I feel like it really does work, but obviously you don't need to do that. It's just a little thing that I do. And I also want to say, be realistic with what you're trying to get. Don't be saving Dolce & Gabbana or any other designer brand 24/7, because realistically you're not going to find that at the thrift store. Also, if you really want to get super specific things, if you're going thrifting to find a Juicy Couture baby tee, you're probably not going to find it, and it would be easy to just go on platforms like Depop or some other sort of curated site. Try and find the best thrift stores for you. So to do this, think about things that actually matter to you about the op shop. Are you going there because you want to find really inexpensive clothes? Nowadays, a lot of op shops have gotten pretty expensive, so you might want to go to one a little bit further out where it's a lot cheaper. So when I look for thrift stores, I usually check Google reviews before I go, and I only look for the area in which it's in. Is it a really busy area, popular area? Is there lots of people coming through? I look at the reviews, but I only look at the price on the reviews. I don't care about what people say about the stock, because one person's trash is another person's treasure. Someone could find that super ugly and I could find that the cutest thing in the world. Be fueled up before you leave. eat something nutritious, something that will make you full, that will give you energy, that will keep you powered throughout the day, because op shopping for me is a whole day experience. We are going and we're hitting up 2 to 4 stores in a day. You want to be able to go through without being uncomfortable, by being hungry. Something else that is super important to me when at the op shop is to have good entertainment. Having a good playlist or a good podcast is essential, because otherwise you're going to have to be listening to their music, which it's not the best. It's not the best a lot of the time. This next thing is probably the most important thing if you want to have successful thrift days, thrift hauls and everything. You need to be having a good mindset. It is a lot of energy, it takes a lot of work to go to multiple thrift stores, which is what you need to be doing if you want to get good things. And truly, if you're not happy, if you don't want to go, you will just not enjoy the experience. You know, it should be fun for you. Like, it's important to listen to yourself and think, do I actually want to go, or will this just turn out to be a bad experience for me? Okay, this is another little segment, and it is what's in my bag to take to the thrift. This is all of my essentials, everything that I think you need to have a successful thrift trip. So first of all, the bag itself. In Australia, in a lot of op shops, we do not have trolleys like they do in America. There are baskets, or they've got little carts where you can put the baskets on. So there's not a lot of space where you can be, you know, you either have to keep your bag on or put it in the cart. I personally hate wearing my bag at the thrift. I feel like it gets in the way. It's just annoying. It's extra weight that I don't really want to carry around. So I always put it in my basket, which is why it needs to be small to fit in there and not take up as much space for all of the clothes that you're going to get. Okay, first, I always bring a reusable bag with me. Guys, we're trying to be sustainable. We don't want to put new waste out there in the world when we could just reuse the same bag. That's big, it's lightweight, it doesn't hurt my shoulders, and I can carry it around. Next thing, I don't have any water in here, but water, super essential. It gets super hot. Sometimes, a lot of the time, their aircon is broken. You want to have water to keep hydrated. Next, I always bring Panadol with me because I get headaches pretty easily. And again, I get really hot when I'm op shopping. Sometimes the aircon is broken and I just get a headache, and that will just turn into a bad mood, and I don't want that. Hand sanitizer. Girl, always have hand sanitizer or antibacterial wipes or just something to keep your hands clean. You are literally searching through hundreds of people's dirty closets. You don't know where they've been. You don't know if they've washed it. I always use hand sanitizer after I go to the op shop, especially because a lot of the time after I go, then I'll go out to eat. So this is also really good if there's no like sink readily available or anything. Hair ties or claw clips. This is also super important. I wear my hair down a lot, but I get really overstimulated in the op shop. If I'm trying on all these clothes, my hair might be getting a little caught. I get sweaty trying on clothes. Having hair ties and claw clips are super important. I personally prefer hair ties over claw clips because claw clips can get really bunchy. They can get, clothes can get like caught on them. They're just not as practical when you're trying on clothes and stuff, in my opinion. Lastly, the things that are most important when I go thrifting is my phone and my wireless AirPods. I find wireless AirPods a lot better than wired because I've gone with wired a couple times at the op shop and it is just not my tea. It's not my vibe at all. I actually hate it so much. They like get caught on the hangers, they get caught on the clothes. It makes it more difficult to try on clothes. So I much prefer wireless headphones. And then a phone, obviously. I use Apple Pay, so I need to pay for stuff, have music. Okay, now moving on to when you're actually at the thrift, what you should be doing, what you should be looking through, and where you should be looking. Look through all of the sections, but look through all the sections that are important to you. I don't wear men's clothes, so I'm not going to look through the men's clothes. I barely ever wear pants, so I usually don't actually go through them. I just like look over and skim the top of them to see patterns, colors, textures. Also, look through the kids section. I've gotten so many cute pieces of clothing from the kids section. It's super important to look there. The shop attendants always put things that they think are kids but are really adults They often get priced down a lot lower because they are for children, and overall it's just a really good section to look in. As well as looking through all the sections, look through all the sizes. I have found things from clothing size 6 to clothing size 16. Like, you should be looking through everything. With that being said, if you are skinny and you find something for plus size people, do not take that home to alter it or sew it up to make it fit you. No, leave it there, because plus size people have it hard enough finding things in the op shop, as well as just in like regular stores and everything. So you better leave that there. It literally gets on my last nerve when I see someone doing it. I'm like, girl, you have everything else in the store. They've got one little section. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, the next thing is, do not buy things if you want to DIY it or anything like that. You won't DIY it. I'm just going to give you the cold hard truth. Unless you are a already extremely crafty person, you like to sew, you like to do, you know, whatever, and you do it on a regular basis, you're probably not going to spend your time learning how to sew to alter a piece of clothing or anything like that. Especially if you don't have a sewing machine or anything, don't buy it. You're just not going to do it. Like, it's just a reality. You're not going to do it. I have bought so many DIY projects that I just don't do. Don't buy clothing for when you get skinny. You don't need it. Just buy clothing for the body that you are now. You can find clothes for when you're skinny, okay? Just focus on what you actually want to buy and what looks good on you at the moment. Don't be scared to try new things. Don't be scared to like try a cool piece that you see and, you know, it might not be in your usual style or whatever, but you never know. And I love it so much, you might want to buy it, and now you've just evolved your style a little. You found something that you're interested in. So experiment with different things, try new styles of clothing. Don't buy things with dry rot, and check your shoes heels before you buy them. Dry rot is just going to get everywhere. I had lots of dry rot bags when I like first started thrifting, because I was like, oh, it's just a little bit of peeling. No, girl, it's not. It's going to develop into something way more worse. It's just going to peel off. If it's during summer, I would get sweaty and it would stick to me. Like, it's gross. If you put it on the ground, you can just see like the dry rot debris just going everywhere. And so many people buy shoes without testing the heels first, and then they always get broken off. So give your shoes a good hard tug. Some boots I just got, girl, twist that shit. Like, see if it's gonna come off, because these spend a long time in people's closets without being worn. You know, it's not gonna hurt the shoe. Wear clothes that are comfortable and wearable for the op shop. You want to remember that you are trying on a lot of clothing, so you want to have things that you are going to be able to easily slip on and off, and that won't make you irritated or anything when you're there. For me, this is usually some sort of top and a skirt, because those are easy to take off. This is especially relevant for American thrift stores, because for some reason you guys don't have changing rooms in a lot of your thrift stores, which I think is really weird and random. So for people like that, maybe wearing leggings, a tight top, or like spandex shorts or something that you can easily put clothes over, or, you know, a skirt where you can like try on pants underneath and, you know, take it off. But just do things that make it easier and more accessible for you, or just blind buy and try. A pretty general rule when I go thrifting is, if I find something cute, then I'm gonna try it on, even if I don't think that I would get it, because you never know how it might look, how it might fit. You know, if you find something really cute in a size that's a couple sizes bigger than what you usually wear, just try it on anyway, because you never know if it will actually fit that way. Especially if you're interested in like vintage clothing, this is important, because vintage sizing is she's a little weird. The girls were delusional and they had fat phobia. They didn't like want to acknowledge that plus size people exist, and all of the clothing skews a lot smaller than what it actually is. So just take these different considerations, and, you know, even if it's a couple sizes bigger, just try it on anyway. Even if you don't really like know about the fit on the hanger, try it on, because you never know how it's gonna look on your body. Finally, this is kind of more for outside of the op shop, but actually look at the washing instructions. Some of them need to be washed in cold water, hand washed, you know, for different materials, like for like silk or different types of wool or just any sort of thing. It can take different care instructions. You want to be following that to keep the quality and just to respect the garment. If you're buying lots of vintage, don't let that vintage just be ruined straight away. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope there's something that you can incorporate into your routine that you might have not known about or might just want to see how it works out. But these are all the tips and tricks that I could think of currently. There's probably a billion more out there that you can use to harness your powers as a thrifter, become the best thrifter that there is. I hope you guys have a incredibly beautiful rest of your day. I hope all of your thrift trips are just so fruitful and incredible from now on. Thrift gods, please bless whoever is watching this video. Like and subscribe if you want to.